No, that's fine. Hello, everybody. Macro Bricks, how's it going? Hey, happy Thursday. I'm Ben, it's Ben's Brick Designs. Today we're going to be building, and that's it. So, might as well start getting into it. Close this out so I don't look at it. Yeah, nothing else going on, really. Just sorting and stuff. Today we're going to build the big cat, the Majestic Tiger, and we all know why we got the Majestic Tiger, right? We'll get to that in a second. If we get through that in the next couple hours, I've got these two things I can always build as well. Another big cat, La Katrina. So yeah, hope you're all having a good Thursday. I realize that and I got seasonal Shiner Cheer, so that's what we're going to be drinking tonight. I realized when I said that today was going to be my last stream for a little bit, it was maybe premature. I could probably still do Sunday morning, really depending on everything. I am taking tomorrow off for wedding-related stuff, but I'm working Monday and Tuesday. The bachelor party that we were going to do, that had been planned, has been canceled. So I'm a little bummed out about that because it wasn't going to be epic. per se, but it was going to be fun. My buddies had rented out an Airbnb, and we were just going to go hang out there all weekend. And we're going to start the weekend off by going to a really great local barbecue place here in Austin. Maybe you've heard of it, Franklin's. Going to get there early in the morning, spend some time, get some barbecue. So here's the 3-in-1 creator instructions. We're going to be building this tonight. But in the event you'd like to take it apart and build these other two things, I think these would be great too. We'll have to see what this looks like together. Maybe I'll keep it together for a little bit. And then we were going to go... There was going to be karaoke involved. They rented a karaoke room, which is my favorite activity. One thing I like about creator sets, there aren't any stickers, which I think is great. Creator sets, if you're not big into creator sets, they are really good bang for the buck. They are really good cost per brick. Ooh, and I get some regular pink pieces. So not only was there going to be karaoke involved, there was also going to be... we were going to go to a arcade that's in town called Pinballs. I think they have a couple other places around the country, I think. We're also going to have dinner in a nice restaurant somewhere. I don't remember. They didn't say which restaurant. My hope is that it was... Well, it doesn't matter what it was because it's all been canceled because of COVID. So this is my PSA to you. If you're watching this, and I don't mean to get super political or anything, put on a damn mask, stay the hell inside. This is the second time we've had to postpone stuff. This is the second time this beer's done this too. I think I got skunky beer. The second time we've had to postpone wedding stuff. And I'm getting a little tired of it. We had this stuff beat last year, and it's getting very frustrating. So the wedding's still on, even though Austin is in stage 5 now. We just can't. There's nothing we can do. We are committed financially to this unless the venue says nope, can't do it. So kind of bummed. See if we can make a little room here to kind of show off the build a little better. I've been really bad about that. So yeah, rant over. And Beth's really frustrated. I'm really frustrated. And it's just kind of, what are you going to do? But anyway, I got an email a couple days ago, Monday or Tuesday, welcoming me to the Lego Ambassadors Network. So it is official in the eyes of Lego that I am now the TechSlug Ambassador. So this is interesting. This is going to be covered up. This is going to be part of your build it later aspect of Creator. In that, I'm sure that'll come up. There's going to be leftover pieces here, I'm sure. Greg Dillian, hi. How are you? Thanks for being here. So yeah, Lego Ambassadors are basically, like the name indicates, liaisons between the Lego group and the Lego users groups. Basically the fan groups. The fans of Lego assemble into large groups. And there's a person who ends up being the... And now I get a notification. Howdy, y'all. How are you? Sorry, howdy, all. Not howdy, y'all. That's something I would say. So yeah, I got the thing that says you're welcome aboard. You've got access to the site. You've got access to all the forms and all the things you need to fill out. It's a bit daunting, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure it's not as bad as all that, but once I get into the swing of things, I'm sure it'll be fine. Just, a form to fill out every time there's an event. Keep track of like project support for the lug. Anytime somebody's got an idea for an event or a project, make sure to fill out the proper forms and everything. And that's kind of it. Keep an eye on things that come down from Lego and make sure to pass them on to the user group so they're all aware. That kind of stuff. So, and get mailed a bunch of Lego sets and bags of Lego to distribute to the group. So luckily, after the wedding's over, I'm going to have plenty of space up in the front half of this room where I can just receive stuff from Lego so that I can distribute it to everybody in the lug. So that's going to be fun. I obviously don't need more Lego in my life, other than what I buy, but it'll be fun to kind of have it and give it to people. I think that'll be a treat. Any movies I'm looking forward to? Not really. The Majestic came out and I saw it, and I was kind of it was okay. And that's the last movie I was excited to see. The other movies that are coming out are like way far away, like whatever Doctor Strange movies come out, Multiverse of Madness. Spider-Man's out, so that's that was one that was looking forward to. I know there's a Guardians movie coming out, as Guardians of the Universe. But those are kind of ways off. They're nothing really like. I'm sure if somebody said something, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's one I'm looking forward to. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Scream 5, great. I've never been a horror fan or even a fan of horror satire. Fun fact, the contract of howdy y'all is supposed to be written out howdy all, as you're saying how do you do all, but it's easier to combine Y's. Howdy y'all. Yeah, there's too many Y's to say howdy y'all. Howdy y'all. I see people abbreviating y'all as YA''LL, and I shake my head. Scream 5. You know what? I think I've seen the first Scream movie, and then that was kind of it. I did watch Look Up, or Don't Look Up. I felt like that was a really good movie. It was frustrating, but that was the point of it, is to be frustrating. So they did a good job of that. But that was a Netflix movie, so it wasn't like a big blockbuster. I don't see me going to the theater anytime soon, so I'm kind of glad nothing's out right now or coming out. Everything that I kind of want to see is going to be on Disney Plus or Amazon or stuff. New seasons of like Foundation and Wheel of Time, which I think Wheel of Time is fine. I think it's a good show. Do a little straightening here. Major one is in December. That's going to be... Jeez, what comes out in December? That's a ways off. I know they were talking about doing an Ahsoka show. I don't think there's going to be a new Star Wars movie before then, but... See, Avatar 2, I'll probably watch it. I don't know that I'll see it in the theater, but... That's one of those that when you see it, you're like, well, you have to go see it in the theater. It's meant to be seen in a theater. I'm like, okay. I honestly, for all the rave it got, I don't remember a thing about it, like story-wise. I remember broad strokes. I remember there was a guy in a wheelchair who was injured. I can't remember if he was injured as a soldier, and then there's a new planet with like an indigenous species, but it's got a mineral that they want, so they have to kind of go get it, and that's kind of what I remember. I don't remember the conflict. They flew around on some things. The ground floated. That was about it. So someone said Avatar 2's coming out, and I'm like, really? Okay. I'm not downing your want to see that movie. I'm excited that you're excited. Yeah, this must be a new thing. Bam! 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 You're done. You're done with that step. By itself, kind of looks like a Chinese pagoda. So speaking of these things, I'm trying to make a pink spaceship to go with my pink spaceman. And I don't have anything round in pink, in this color pink. This is technically dark pink. This is pink. The spaceman is in dark pink. So this, or in dark pink. So I have a lot more of these things, but not the dark pink. I've got like 1x2 bricks and 1x4 plates, and I'm like, I have no idea what to do with this. So I did some sorting recently, and I just uncovered some tiles. Like I had 2 or 3 tiles that I could use. But so what I did is I have a ton of these, so I just put them on the back of something and put 4 of them in a cluster, so it looks like thrusters. I'm like, well, there you go. I mean, I could go online and probably buy pieces, but I kind of want to do with what I've got rather than have to buy new stuff just to do this project. Oh, I need to do that. I think I'm gonna officially do that. I cannot wait for that game to come out. I'm sad that I won't have a PS5 to play it on, but I will definitely buy that game. I still even listen to the soundtrack for that game. I put it on as background music while I work. There's a website or there's a YouTube channel where you can get 4 hours. You get the whole 4 hours of music from it. And it's just awesome. All right, well, here's some pieces. These are printed, which I think is kind of cool. No stickers, they're just printed. So that's pretty hip. Yeah, I can't wait for that game to come out. That's, to me, more exciting than any movie that may be coming out this year. Mostly because those kind of games, you know, it'll last you anywhere between 6 and 60 hours, depending on the type of game and how much you, like if you just blast through it, it's just a few hours. But if you know, do every side quest and collect all the stuff and try to 100% it, it can go for a while. God of War is one I've never got into, but I hear it's very similar. I might go back and like pick up some older versions to play it. I'm also kind of hoping that this Lego Skywalker Saga comes out at some point. Really like it if that game came out. It's supposed to be spring this year, but I haven't heard anything about it. I'm liking the jazz. So did anybody pick this set up? I was the only one at our Lego store to grab it. And when I got it, a lot of people were like, oh yeah, that set. I'm like, one of the bigger creator sets. I beg your pardon, one of the bigger 3-in-1 animal creator sets. What's up, Brad? Yeah, sure. You do you, man. I'm probably going to be here till 10, maybe later. I'll do this one and then the lion and then the little brickheads if we get to it. There's also a hockey game on tonight, so I'm kind of like, maybe I want to watch the hockey game. It'll be over by the time I get done with this, so I should have that up so I can at least see the scores. Oh, man. The Jets are already up 1-0. And my son is taking a turn on the chess game. And Beth is off listening to or watching the reality TV show. 9:15? Yeah, I'll be here. I'll go till probably 11 your time. At the very least. Hey Bubba Bricks, how's it going? Yeah, that's the whole reason I got this set. It looks like a good set too. It looks like a fun set. It's got a lot of orange. I'm all about it. It's got these nice printed slopes too. That's pretty cool. I don't know what else you could use them for. Maybe a Jodorowsky's Dune kind of ship, orange stripey thing. But yeah, I'm waiting for that step, man. That's what I'm waiting for. That was the joke on all the socials. I was like, you guys know why we bought this set. I can't wait. Ooh. Don't have that in that color. Nice little like 1x3 slope. A couple of those. So we had another group of friends who are out of town who moved since we got engaged. And they told us that they are not coming to the wedding either because everything is terrible. Australian Lego fan, hi, how are you? Thanks for being here. Cheers. So we're a little bummed that they won't be able to make it, but they'd be flying in from the East Coast, and they're just like, I don't think we can do that. I'm like, no, I get it. I wouldn't want to either. Hey, Beth.
Yes, honey?
Could you bring me a paper towel while you're in there?
Yes.
These Shiner Cheers bubbled up on me again. Because they stupid.
Hold on a second.
Gracias.
De nada. Yeah.
You even flipped your R on that one. That was great. Yeah, Beth is super stressed about the wedding. People are canceling. We thought we were going to get 120 people. And we're down to about 75. Because people keep canceling. And I get it. There's nothing we can't be upset at people for doing it, but it's just you feel cheated. You feel robbed a little bit. And it's like, and we've been planning this for 2 years because we had to cancel the first, well, like a year and a half because we had to cancel the first one or postpone the first one. So it's like, just use a bunch of those flesh colored for the new modular. Nice. Planning on getting a case for my UCSAT AT-AT. A case? That's got to be like a giant 50-gallon terrarium-sized case. Leave that there. So yeah, it's a bummer. I'll be glad when it's over because this has been super stressful for everybody. And, yeah. But we'll see. So in terms of LEGO ambassadorship, I'm really hoping I do well. I'm taking over from somebody who's been with our lug for, I mean, he's been in the lug as long as I've been in the lug, which is 12 years or more. And he's been the ambassador for at least that long. So I've got some shoes to fill. So it'll be fun. I'm sure it's a learning curve. I just don't want to like forget something that like leaves the lug out of something that, you know, extra swag, extra project support, miss out on lug bulk, something like that. Well, now look at that. So we've got an inverted slope and then we've got this regular slope here, and together they make curved stripes. Look at that. Sassy. That's super sassy. It's a little loose, but I'm sure that'll be fine. Oh, and by popular demand, I can officially close this poll now. Got 20 votes in. Thank you all for those who voted. The next microfighter will be the USS Enterprise. Thank you, everybody who voted. I've been shopping for Captain Kirk microfighters because this is obviously going to have to be a custom microfighter. You can get the hairpiece, a yellow torso, any head, black pants, and be done with it. I may actually try my hand at a little customization. I think all you'd need is probably like a really good Sharpie, maybe a brush pen or something, which I have. Paint a little badge on him, a little Starfleet insignia, and maybe like a line, a collar, and then maybe something on the sleeves. But I found one for $14, and they've got like a really great, like the face they've printed on it is like pretty good. It's kind of smarmy and very, I'm Captain Kirk, you know. So I'm gonna pay an artist their due and pick it up, and then start sourcing the parts out. There's one piece on it that's going to be very expensive, and I'm hoping I can find it or work around it. But I knew when I built it or when I designed it that it was going to be a problem, and it was like a gold plate or pearl gold. I think it was gold plate, 2x2 dish. So I'm gonna have to see if I can find that somewhere. And that's for its deflector dish up in the front of the ship. I think everything else I have the parts for. I was looking over it the other day, and I think I've got all of them. So should be pretty easy. And I might put in the order this weekend. Bepa Kemchoba. Thank you for being here, Russian bot, with your VOM red. Hopefully, by me reading those, I get more Russian bots. Because I tell you what. So yeah, I'm excited to do that. That'll be the second non-Star Wars microfighter. I'd like to get a few more of those done by June. So I'll just go in order of what people voted on. I think the next one down was probably... I didn't expect the Enterprise to win, honestly. I thought the Swordfish would win. But the Swordfish wasn't even in like the top 3, which I thought was weird. Not a lot of Cowboy Bebop fans out there. I thought the Star Fury would do higher too, but what you gonna do? What's it gonna do, baby? What you gonna do, baby? That's a thick sandwich of pieces. Look at all that. Look at all that nonsense. A lot going on in there. Hopefully, I think this is the snout. Right? The jaw, I don't know. Or no, a paw maybe? There's a lot going on. And we're not done. And there's more. Mr. Popeil. It slices, it dices. Look at that tomato. You could even cut a tin can with it, but you wouldn't want to. Mr. Popeil, I'm in trouble. Need your assistance on the double. Oh no. How are we gonna make my own vinyl car top look like new? Mr. Popeil. Okay, so this is going to go on flipped. So that's up that way. And this is going to connect in here where its guts are. See how they did that? Oh, this is its furry little tummy. Alright, so it's got a little fur down here. It's pretty cool. And that just sits in there like that. There's a clips in there. So, repeat on second side. So then after the wedding, there'll be nothing to do for like 6 months. Except plan a trip to Hawaii. Plan the... Austin area brick rodeo, save up for a UCS AT-AT, start our podcast back up. I was promised a podcast. And then send a kid to band camp in Florida if they're still doing that, a band trip. I don't think they're going to do that. It's in just a couple months. So yeah, not a whole lot going on there. I may have to get another beer. Oh, I got 2 for no-go. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. That's legit Cyrillic there. Good stuff. Good show, bots. You guys are ramping this up. Let's check the scores. Oh, it's still 1-0. All right. Yep. Just another side of a tiger here. So I am looking forward to. Oh, how is everybody caught up on Book of Boba Fett? That latest episode came out yesterday, episode 2, and I'm gonna say it was pretty good. So, full disclosure, I was a big fan of Boba Fett when Empire Strikes Back came out, and then I felt like he got punked in Return of the Jedi. And ever since then, he's lived on in Legends books and comics and things like that. Some of my favorites being like Tales of the Bounty Hunter and Tales of Jabba's Palace and Tales of the Mos Eisley's Cantina and some other stuff. And so, I mean, he lived on, right? There was no reason to like assume he was either officially dead or these were stories that were told before Return of the Jedi. So, I mean, it was all good. Everybody was kind of happy with it. Never thought any more movies were coming out, so we were all good with the books and comics that we got. So then the prequels came out, and yeah, that Black whatever, I forget what his name is. He's Black something. And he was like a pit fighter, and he's a mercenary bounty hunter. Yeah, he was amazing. So then the prequels came out, and Temuera Morrison plays Jango Fett, and he has a little son named Boba, and they tell that story, and Jango Fett lasts exactly one movie, and gets his head cut off, which turns Boba to the life of crime, although his dad was already a bounty hunter. So then we get like teenage Boba Fett in the Clone Wars, and he's like running a group of mercenaries or bounty hunters or smugglers or something. And with, I think it was with Aura Singh and this dude with Embo something, the guy with the disc on his head and a Trandoshan. I forget the Trandoshan's name. I don't think it was it Bosk? Anyway, it was a group of them. And then after that, we even saw the Slave One. And after that, nothing really, right? Excuse me. So I'm like, cool, a little bit of backstory. But then they went and like despecialized, or they redid the original trilogy and put Temuera Morrison's voice in for Boba Fett. I'm about to lose my voice, hang on. I was really bummed out, because I liked the voice of the other British actor who played him, and because it wasn't the guy in the suit who did the voice, whatever his name is. Jeremy Bulloch. Was it Jeremy Bulloch? So here's some extra pieces. These are typical extra pieces, so that's good. British actor played the voice, and it was very good. What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me. The Empire will compensate you if he survives. Put him in. Right? But then we get Temuera Morrison's voice, which is fine. He played, continuity-wise, it's fine. I just never kind of liked it. It was like, I get that it's just a nostalgia thing. Bear with me. It's just like taking Chimpanzee Lady out as the Emperor in Empire Strikes Back and putting in the actual Ian McDiarmid Emperor, which was fine. But then he changed some lines too, and you're just like, oh god, just why are you changing stuff? So I've always had kind of a problem with that. So seeing him now, I feel like I still have this lingering thing in my brain that says that's not Boba Fett. That's still Jango Fett, you know? And I don't know. Timo Morrison's fine. You know, he does a really good job. Everybody's happy with the show. I don't know. I don't know what I'm stuck on with it, but I'm a little stuck. This latest one was really good, though. It was really fun. It was very, sort of Lawrence of Arabia type thing. You know, he's trying to unite people, and there's the whole train thing. So my first thought was when that train comes ripping through that section of the Dune Sea was, how the hell am I going to do a microfighter of a train, right? Because, I mean, that thing was real long, and it had that droid pilot, and it had a bunch of Niktos in it. And pikes. Had some pikes. So, I mean, what figure do you put in? I don't think there's any Nikto figures. I don't think there's any Pike figures. If there are, they're from Solo, and I got all the Solo sets, so I don't know. So I'd have to make one, or just have a droid, because it was the pilot. But yeah, it was fun. The way the sand people talk bothers me. It just sounds like people in a mask breathing in instead of breathing out. Making grunts by breathing in. I hope they never, ever... Here's the thing. I hope they never show... And they may have in a comic book or something, but I hope they never on screen show what a Tusken Raider looks like under the mask. I just hope they never do. I kind of assume they're just people, right? They're just humans. Bipeds. I just assume that they're like bipeds. Regular humanoid kind of thing. Nothing crazy. Maybe different eyes or different color skin, but like just kind of regular look. And they just choose to wear all that stuff because they live in the desert. But maybe like the Mandalorians, they have kind of a creed that says you never, from birth, you never take these things off. You live in these. Or maybe they're genetically, it's kind of fun to think about because they were mentioning how Tatooine used to be, okay, complete spoiler stuff about this episode. So if you don't want to be spoiled about what happened in this episode, I'm going to start talking about it. So go away and we'll talk to you later. Thank you for being here. When he has his... I'll give you a couple seconds to let that register. When he has his vision, he goes on his walkabout. That's probably culturally insensitive. He has a vision. And in that vision, he sees Tatooine, but like the sand dunes are now rolling, swelling seas. And then it transitions to Camino. But there's a tree there, right? And the tribal leader says, long ago when Tatooine was covered in oceans, blah, blah, blah. I have a feeling like in somebody's lifetime or in very few generations, the story goes, and I think this was in a comic book or something, that something happened a long time ago to where this was not really an ocean planet, but a planet with oceans, and it got bombarded and turned into this wasteland. And I have a feeling that the sand people are the people who were left, and they've adapted to the environment by wearing all this stuff. Now there were people who lived on this planet before, but from what I recall, they kind of looked like they had like big heads. They looked more like hammerhead kind of people, like wide heads with like eyes on the outside or something, if I'm remembering correctly. I may be wrong. So that doesn't really track with like, these are the people who used to live here, and to adapt to the sand and the harsh environment, they had to do this. And just genetically, they're not engineered to be out in the open desert unless they're wearing this. So it's kind of turned into a reliant genetic something or other. Just theorizing. That would actually be pretty cool, but I hope they never, like, ever take off a Tusken Raider's mask. I felt kind of like when you're playing Mass Effect, and I forget the character's name, but she's the one who lives on the flotilla. They're the nomads, or the armada, and they have like the face shield and like the breathing thing down here. And apparently at some point she takes that off when you guys get to do it, if you romance her, which apparently is pretty hard. Like, she was one of the harder ones to romance. I know that the CGI Hut twins got a little flack. People wanted the puppets back. They didn't like them as CGI. Thought they were fine. They actually looked good, if not better than they have in like the Phantom Menace, or what else were they in? I mean, any of the reimaginings of Episode 4 where they show up. And they are very much not Zero the Hutt from the movie Clone Wars. / I think he was in the series too. I think he showed up in the series. Oh, there you go. It's a nice color for that. That's a nice thing to get. Looked a bit merged together, but that might have been the point. I noticed that too. They were kind of twisted around each other. And it said the twins. And so I think probably what is the case is they're just brother and sister. But I have a feeling that because they're an alien species and I don't know how they function, there may be like, because I feel like they're sort of apex, not predators, but maybe they reproduce asexually, and they are doing this because they have sort of a tie together, like a fraternal bond, and they just don't like being separated. Because they looked too different skin-wise to be like this, like Siamese twins, like they were joined together. I think they were just cozy. I think they were just like, you know, just liked hanging out together. And as a human, we're kind of like, ugh, that's a little weird. You guys are brother and sister. Stop cuddling like that. But I mean, it's an alien species. Who knows? I thought it was kind of cool. I liked everything about that interaction. I liked how like the litter was sagging and everybody was like, there was like one guy who stuttered a little bit and was like, I don't know if I can handle this. The one guy I didn't like so much, and I know people are going to be like, no, that guy's rad, was the, for lack of a better term, the secretary at the mayor's office, where for a second I thought it was Pedro Pascal. I was like, what? Hey, Most Marvelous Mox, how are you? We're just building a tiger and talking about Boba Fett. You know, just a dude with long hair and a mustache and a cap, and he's like, I don't have you on the schedule. And I'm like, is this an Office Space joke? What's going on here? Like, it was funny, but it kind of pulled me out of it a little bit. His demeanor and his actions had the same effect on me as seeing the I don't remember. I'm gonna have to look this up. Hang on real quick before I say anything, because they keep calling it MIT, but it's not. Boston Dynamics, thank you. His acting and the role he played had the same effect on me as seeing the Boston Dynamic dogs in the street. It's still cool. They looked, you know, they were robots. But at the same time, I'm like, those are Earth robots, man. You know, you can't put those in there. They're Earth robots. And they're like, no, but they got wings. It's like, I get what they were doing, though. They were like, hey, look, fun technology. We're just going to throw these in there. It's a LARF. No big deal. I'm like, okay, whatever. But it kind of pulled me out of it a little bit. all the super obvious parkour that they were doing across the tops of the roofs, despite the fact that they're ambulatory bipedal assassins who probably would do something like that, it still was like, oh look, parkour, you know. So there's a little bit that's like grounding it in earth, and seeing somebody go, I don't see you on the appointment book, and he looked like he didn't look Star Wars. He looked like a Saturday Night Live character pretending to be Star Wars, right? This felt like an SNL skit. So I was like, oh man. All right, so I'm guessing that's one half of a body, right? The guy who's playing the mayor's assistant, his not his major domo, but his lieutenant governor or lieutenant mayor or whatever, that guy is awesome. He is smarmy and shifty, and he just chews up the scenery. I am all about that guy, and he is going to get murdered like yesterday, but he is great. I also really liked the Ithorian, the mayor, forget his name, Mock something, voiced by Robert Rodriguez, by the way. He was great too. I love Ithorians. They're some of my favorite aliens. We had all kinds of theories about the Hammerhead Mos Eisley's Cantina when that first came out. Just because it was the weirdest thing. We latched onto that so hard as kids. Oh, that's not right. I don't remember what any of the theories were. They're probably pretty stupid by comparison, but yeah, it was good. I liked it. Flashbacks were good, or the dream sections were good. I liked how they showed up with the assassin in the mayor's office, and he's like, oh, so he actually doesn't have any information, blah, blah, blah. And they just get shot. You're like, okay, that was great. And everybody's like, draw guns. What? Nope, he didn't have any information. He did. Fantastic. That's the way that goes down. Which is how Boba Fett should be operating. Instead of like showing everybody mercy. That's going to come back to bite him. Something's going to happen where he's not going to be able to make that choice anymore. And it's going to happen soon. But yes, thus far I'm enjoying it. I also feel like it's a little trying to be kind of Mandalorian-ish. Like the music is still kind of Mandalorian-ish, and it just feels like, hey, you guys like The Mandalorian, right? How about some of the Mandalorian stuff, but with a different character? Train sequence was a bit wonky. How do these warriors not know how to take cover? Yeah, that was a little... What I didn't like about it is, like, Tusken warriors have always been... Like, I get that, like, train robbing punks may not know how to, like, cover behind the walls of the train. But yeah, the Tusken Raiders, they're, like, hunkered down behind these guys. They're ripping through that dune, or that flatbed, and they're just taking shots and just picking Tusken Raiders off one by one. I'm like, what? That is some sharp shooting, man. I kind of did that. I didn't... Not gonna lie, that upset me a little bit. I'm like, I don't buy that. That seems convenient. Slow down the train, or, you know, make it so they come upon them in the middle of their camp and just like machine gun them down, so they don't have a chance to move, and it's like really devastating. But this whole, here comes the train, and they all line up on the dune instead of like maybe go away from the train. You know, they wanted to be there to shoot at this thing. Which makes sense. Like, Tusken Raiders do that. They're like, hey, off-worlders, we don't like you. Or different from us, we don't like you. But they had cover. They had the high ground. And they did not do well. And I just... You're right, that was a little weird. If that's what you're talking about with like the Warriors. I also appreciated seeing Cami and Fixer. I don't know if you guys are aware of who Cami and Fixer are. They are Legends characters from two places. One of which is make sure I got everything here. The deleted scenes from New Hope, where Luke is hanging out at Anchorhead and Biggs shows up. And it's a big deal because Biggs is his bestie. Said Biggs and Tank left. Biggs and Tank and Fixer and Cami and Luke all hung out at Tashi Station, which is basically like a garage, right? There wasn't a whole lot to it. So in the deleted scene, like Biggs comes out and they chat, and you see Cami and Fixer, and there's a scene with macro binoculars, and they look up, and Luke thinks he sees a space battle, which was the Tanabe 4 and the Star Destroyer, and everyone gives him crap because there's nothing up there, and they're like, you're just seeing things, you just want this to happen this way. It also kind of happened in the is this on top? The NPR radio drama had a lot more scenes with them. If you're not familiar with the NPR radio drama, in like 78, like really soon after Star Wars came out, NPR did National Public Radio presents Star Wars, and so they did a radio version of Star Wars. And there wasn't anything like canon back then. Like, they didn't understand expanded universe or anything. There was none of that. There was just one movie that had happened. And so they're like, we're going to tell that story again. Only this time we're going to put more into it. And it was like 13 hours. And one of the scenes was Luke going into Anchorhead and hanging out with Fixer and Cami and Deke and Wendy. And there's a scene where Fixer challenges him to a race through Beggar's Canyon. And they race their T-16 Skyhoppers. Wendy's along for the ride with Luke. Fixer's beating him for the most part, and so he takes a shortcut to thread the stone needle, and he almost crashes. Wendy calls him crazy, but he wins. Oh man, I mean, it was available on like CD. My dad recorded it on like reel to reel when it first came out, and we listened to that over and over again. It was on YouTube for a while, so you may be able to find it online sometime. But if you can find it in their archive, it's totally great. Like, some of it's a little cheesy. They got Mark Hamill to be Luke and Anthony Daniels to be C-3PO, but that was it. They got different actors for Leia and Han and Obi-Wan. But there's like some great interaction between Beru and Owen talking about Luke. There's like little bits of extra scenes about what happened before, which contradicts Rogue One completely. So this is still, it's not canon. There's like a scene with Leia and one of the regional governors on Tatooine, and she's like there's a little bit of espionage going on, and she's kind of like pretending to flirt with him so she can get some information. But then they find out that she's, with the rebels, and it's really fun. It's a hoot. But the takeaway from this, and this is long-winded, but I've got nothing but time here, is that his friends are Cami and Fixer. And when the biker gang leaves their, they get their run, and they take their train, and they drop off their spice, and then they get on their swoops and their speeder bikes and go back into town, they're at Tashi Station, and the two humanoids in there are Cami and Fixer. I thought that was great. They didn't even mention their name or anything. I'm just like, oh, that's them. So that was fun. NPR also did, I think, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And I think Mark Hamill came back for all three of them. They at least did Empire. I don't know that they did Return of the Jedi, honestly, but I think they did. Oh, interesting. He's got his little beans on his feet. His little beans. That's so great.
Well, I will let you go because I realized we've been talking for almost 40 minutes. Thank you so much.
All right, bam. Okay, we got one arm. Ta-da. So that's pretty cool. Pretty mobile. The joint will move, but then it clicks into place and doesn't go all the way back. And this just moves like that, forward and back, not out. It moves forward and backwards. It does not go side to side or back in time. What does your wife do for NPR? She's just like, if you don't mind me asking, you don't have to say what her name is. Just like she, like an intern or a reporter or does she work on a news desk? Is she a filing clerk? Is she a secretary that asks people if they're on the appointment book? I'm sorry, I don't see you on the appointment. You can't see Kai Rizdal today. I'm very sorry. Digital media coordinator. That's not shabby, man. That's not shabby at all. That's actually really rad. I am a bit jealous. Because I spent my life trying to be a reporter. I think at most I would be a fun guest on Ask Me Another, but that's just it. That's it. I listen to a lot of NPR. Man, our local NPR station here in Austin is so awesome. Like I'm gonna toot the horn a little bit, but it really is really rad. It's like way up on the community and always good shows. The show I miss the most from NPR over the years is Car Talk. I'm really sad about Car Talk. And I realize it's been like 5 years since Tom died. Was it Tom that died? And I know they did like some filler shows for a little bit or filler episodes, but something about waking up and listening to that theme song and hearing them kind of guffaw and not badmouth people, but kind of ridicule them a little bit, but then be really sweet about it. It's like one of the best shows ever. It's just so good. Really sad about it not being available anymore. I feel like heaven is an unending stream of Car Talk episodes. And Prairie Home Companion before Garrison Keillor went all creepy. Can imagine with a very progressive. Well, it's also it's based out of the UT campus, so it's the call sign's KUT, which is great too because it's a 3-letter call sign, which makes it feel like it's old school, But yeah, it's very very college town, very progressive. It's also in Texas, so there's a lot of Hispanic shows, which is fun, which is great, and they're awesome shows. So, but there's definitely an influence, and I like it. It's good. They also have KUTX, which is just the music part of it. So KUT is all the talk programming and the news programming, and then KUTX does like local music. That's pretty cool. And I actually got on it. I was Sunny Oswego, WRVO. They have a thing on our state, and maybe some others do too. They have like a listener will say, this is what my job sounds like, and then there's them working a press or something, or they work in the parks department, so this is what their job sounds like, and it's just very peaceful sounds. So they're like, if you've got an idea for our Sonic ID program, email whatever. And so I did, and I was like, hey, I'm in a Lego group, and I've played and built Lego my whole life. There's nothing better than the sound of like digging your hands through a big bucket of Lego. And I made sure to say Gerstelling, or however you pronounce it. And I was like, that's the German word for that sound, the crunching, tinkling sound of somebody stirring through some Lego. So they emailed me back. They're like, this is awesome. Can you come in? And I'm like, sure. So I brought like I don't know how big, 50 pound, 20 pound, whatever gallon of Lego that I had that I'm sorting anyway. I just put it in my car and brought it to the studio and did a little spot. And that was like 5 years ago, maybe more. And they're still playing it. Like, people will email me at work and say, I heard you on the radio. And when I got there, the dude who was doing the recording, Michael Lee, he does all the arts stuff. And he's like, you know what? I build Lego at home. I've got all kinds of sets, and me and my kids build it all the time, and I collect a bunch of stuff. I never thought of doing this. And I was like, are you kidding? He's like, no. So I was like, well, here's our lug. Here, you could be part of Tech's Lug. Come hang out with us and, be geeky about Lego. He never did. But I've only heard it, like, I was trying to get a copy of it so I could play it on, like, my YouTube channel or something, but they don't have any, like, they don't have an archive of just the Sonic, or if they do, they're not advertising it. But I was like, man, I was on it. Can't you give it to the people who are on it? Is that too much to ask? Bam! It says bam. All right. He's got his little paws with his little beans under his feet. But it's always fun to get that, hey, I heard you on the radio kind of thing. Yum, yum, yum. So what are all y'all's plans this weekend? I know that we're kind of getting to the point where we have to hunker down and wear scuba gear and only communicate with our neighbors via semaphore and smoke signals. But anybody got any hot plans this weekend? I mean, technically we could still like go outside to breweries and stuff and sit on the picnic benches outside, but we were at a live taping of an episode of Says You, but that's as close to on air we've been. Sweet. So my daughter's got a claim to fame too. This was pretty fun. She is a huge, and I may be getting some of the details of this wrong. So Rowan, if you're watching, I apologize for screwing this up, but she's a huge Who's Line fan. And I've been a Who's Line fan forever. And since it was a British show, right? With like Colin Mockery and Ryan Stiles was still there, and Tony Slattery and Clive. I can't remember the host's name now. Clive something. Anyway, and Mike McShane and the lady's name. Crap. Anyway. So then it became an American show, and we all loved it and became a huge hit. And my daughter absolutely loves Ryan Stiles and Colin Mockery. So they were doing they do the tour, right? It's Colin Mockery and Brad Sherwood. I think Ryan Stiles was there too. And so she got tickets and went, and they called her up on stage to do one of their games. And I was like, you're kidding. She's like, dream come true. I got to be on stage with Ryan Stiles and Colin Mockery. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. That's so great. And like one of Beth's friends was at the same show or something. She's like, do you know somebody who's, I saw somebody up on stage. I'm like, that was my daughter. There's that. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, a little brush with fame. That's always, they'll, dine out on that for a little while at least. Reminds me of the story of Beth and I went to see, I don't know if you guys know who Hal Sparks is. He's a comedian and a writer. Right now, kind of all he's doing is podcasts and live streams. But he was on Queer as Folk, I think. And, hey, Beth? Beth! What else did Hal Sparks do? Dude, where's your car? Dude, where's my car? Yeah. Okay, cool. Talk Soup, that's what it was. Cool. Mega Worldwide. Mega Worldwide. Okay. So anyway, he is from Kentucky, and roughly the same area that Beth is from. Not exactly, but roughly. So she's been a fan of his for a while and has loved all the shows that he's been on. And so he came to Austin to a comedy club out here, and he was going to do a show. And she's like, we have to go. And I'm like, okay. So we go, and it's at Cap City, which, rest in peace, no longer exists. Hopefully they're going to open it back up because we got no comedy club here now. Nobody can go to it, but we don't have one anymore. They couldn't stay open. And so they have two rooms. They have the big room, kind of the headliner Thursday night, Friday night room, and then they've got the smaller front room, which was like the Wednesday show room. And oh balls. So we go, and so it's an intimate, 20 people, 30 people maybe, and we're sitting not right up front, but like 2 tables back. And he comes out and he's doing his show, and it's great. It's a good show, and he's like, he starts talking about Kentucky a little bit, and he says something, and Beth goes, woo, right? Because he says something, blah, blah, blah. Lab rats. Beth. Lab rats. Never mind, I'll talk to you later. Lab rats. Yep. She remembers that. So, anyway, sitting there talking. Kentucky. Beth goes, woo! And forgets that she's not in Kentucky anymore. And so she's the only one that goes, woo! And he locks right onto her. And he's like, Kentucky? And she's like, oh crap. She's like, yeah. He's like, where in Kentucky? She's like, it's this little town, like East Kentucky. You've never heard of it? And he's like, where? And she says where. And he's like, oh, that's near. And he names a bunch of places. And she's like, yeah. And she knows he's from Kentucky, but this is getting. And he's like, so you went to, the Murray State? And she's like, yes. And he's like, do you remember where you registered? And she's like, what? She's like, the building that you registered in is called Sparks Hall. It's named after his uncle. And she's like, what? So the whole rest of the show, anytime, hey, Scott, no, we have not. We're on the legs. I'm sure that will come when we do the tail. Although, you are just in time, my friend. Guess what? Boop. Cat butt. Cat butt. Look at that cat butt. Look at it. Look at it. This, if you're a cat owner, this is the view you get at like 5 a.m. Why aren't you feeding me? Why aren't you feeding me? Why aren't you feeding me? You can leave, Scott. That's the whole reason for this stream. Take care. Bam. Cat butt. Weirdest thing Lego has ever done. I'm not kidding. I don't care if you bring up something from like the 70s when they didn't know what they were doing yet. Cat butt. Gotta be it. Yeah, later. It's what everybody came for. I get it. You guys have a good rest of your week. I'll talk to you later. Anyway, to wrap up that little story, anytime he said anything about Kentucky, he was like talking about a water tower in this one little town that said something right, and they changed it. And he goes, "You think I'm joking? I'm right?" And she's like, "Yep. You know, I know exactly the water tower. I drive by it every day. You know." So that was kind of fun. But it was weird because we went up and talked to him after the show because they kind of hang out, and it's usually like, "Can I get a photo? Can I get an autograph?" Something like that. And we lingered a little bit to like maybe like chat about Kentucky, but he was just kind of like not really having it. Like we were a little, you know, I didn't care, but I think we were both a little starstruck to be able to just walk up and chat with somebody. So, but he was kind of like, yeah, whatever, you know. Does this a million times. I'm sure there's no skin off our teeth that he didn't like completely take us out, you know. Can we take out for a beer? And he didn't go. There wasn't anything like that. It was fun. It was a good time. You have to keep the volume down for a few. Oh yeah, fine. So I can take this opportunity to start swearing a whole lot. I'm past my 5 minutes, so. No. I'm now an official Lego ambassador. I should probably not even drink on screen, but whatever. I'm not a recognized fan media in this channel. I will conduct myself appropriately on the message boards and at Lego meetings. That's it. Oh, speaking of that, I've got to do a write-up. Do you guys have Brickfest Lives coming to your area? Oh, this is a Harris Heller, isn't it? Yeah, I like this song. Brickfest Live, if you don't, the wife is listening to Hail right now. Brickfest Live is this weird, it's a Lego event, but it's not an official Lego event. It's kind of like, it's supposed to be mostly for kids, and they have like big Lego statues that you can look at, like stuff that shows up in stores, and they're ideally, I think they're supposed to be like a lot of play areas for kids to do stuff, and I think games, but it's notoriously not an AFOL event, right? So there's not a lot of people signing up to bring mocks and have big displays and things like that. And in the past, they have not worked well with our group, mostly because they approach us, or they have in the past have approached us and said, would you like to come display at Brick Fiesta? Wow, I'm going to get in trouble for that. At Brickfest Live. And we say, we would love to. Can we get our tickets? Can we get comp tickets, basically? And can we get parking? Can we get like a parking pass? And they balked at both of those, saying, no, blah, blah, blah. And so we're like, so you want us to pay our own way to show our stuff? And, you know, they really fought back about this a few times. And so it's come up in the past, and the old ambassador and some of the older, and I've never done it, but some of the older group members were like, no, I don't want to do that. So they approached us again, and I got the email this time. I was like, all right, here's the thing. We're going to turn over a new leaf. I'm going to immediately ask him, say, hey, that's great. In years past, we haven't felt like really welcome because we've had to pay our own way just to be able to display stuff. And we got stuck kind of in a corner, and it wasn't like a real big deal. And it kind of is, a good, it was a waste of our time. It wasn't a good use of our time. And we felt like we were being like kind of shoved to the background. So she's like, no, that I completely understand. We got some new people coming in, and we'd love to like comp you guys a bunch of tickets, and how much space do you need? And I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. So I was like, I put it to the group, and a few of them were like, yeah, that sounds great, I'll go. And you know, I think we had like maybe 10 people, which includes kind of some of the people's kids. So like 6 AFOLs and then their kids. But not everybody went. I think we had 3 people go, and it was okay. I want to like email the organizers back and just say, how were your numbers? Because apparently they weren't great. And I'm kind of concerned about that. So it very much seemed like it hit right as a time where people were like, I am not going to go hang out in a giant room full of kids. Sorry. And I can understand that, and that just sucks for everybody. But it also, I kind of have to write it up for the LAN and just say, we didn't get many numbers. 3 people showed up from our group, and, you know, they got 500 people, 300 people walking through. I don't know, which doesn't seem like a lot for a 2-day weekend. Chad Collins is a nice guy. Is he the creator of that? The lady I was dealing with, I forget her name. It was like Candicine or Candicelli or something. It was like a combined name. It was really weird. But over email, she seemed very pleasant. So I'm hoping that everything went well. They were just, because of nobody wanting to go anywhere, it just kind of was like a bad timing. Nobody's fault, just bad timing. I also have to remember that AFOLs, for the most part, are middle-aged white men. It's changing. I get it. There's a lot more women and there's a lot more younger people who are kind of sticking with it and, you know, saying, no, it's not just a fad or a phase. This is official. I'm doing Lego. And I think that's great. I think having more young people drives the product. It drives the community. What I'm hoping is a lot of that translates into sort of the old guard of things like conventions and things like events where it's not just about, well, I've made this giant, great ball contraption and now I'm just the greatest thing in the world. I do still feel like that in a lot of ways, that a lot of lugs are like that. They're like full of a lot of these old guys who are just kind of stuck in their ways and won't change for anything. They don't like change. So, all right, 3rd leg. Let's do this. Get this done. So I'm glad that a lot of younger people are showing up to these things. And you want to make it accessible for the kids. You don't want them getting their paws into something that took you 2 years to make, but you want them to be able to go and, you know, answer questions and make them excited about it and say, you know, you can build this too. This isn't like anything that requires anything but a little time and some imagination, and, to be fair, a lot of money, because it's not cheap. But you can make this kind of stuff. But that's what I like about those kind of events. Oh, jumped ahead a little bit. What was her name? You know what I'm talking about, though, right? I do need to email her and see if she's got anything where I can use for Carla Jane. That's her name, Carla Jane. She's very pleasant. I'm gonna leave that email up so I can, when I'm done here, just email her and say, hey, what up? How many people did you get? I need to report this to our LAN. Oh yeah, 2-1 Avs. Right. Pikmin Bloom. I took 4,500 steps today. I saw a thing where anything under 5,000 steps or 10,000 steps was considered like like morbidly sedentary or something. I'm like, what? I mean, I take my dogs for a walk. That's kind of it, but I wouldn't consider myself morbidly sedentary. It's just really weird. I haven't watched too much TikTok, I think. Which is just a general rule, anyway. Too much. I watch every night before I go to bed. She's the show mom. Oh, that sounds like it. Yeah, a lot of energy. Yeah, because everything was exclamation points in the emails. I'm guaranteed to be one of these people, like if I met in person, I'd be like, okay, I got it. Please don't hurt me. I wish I had that kind of energy. Like, I know I give Beth a little crap because she's kind of introverted, but both of us are like these introverted extroverts where we really like going out and hanging out with our friends. We love being surrounded by our friends. But I can only handle that for a little bit, and then I'm like, I have to go home now. Like, I love hanging out with my friends, and I love singing karaoke, and I love going to loud bars. But after a time, I'm like, if I don't go home right now, I'm going to murder somebody. I don't think I could do that. It's going to be interesting to do this for a whole convention, because I don't know that I can do that for a very long time. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in June. Yeah, this is coming along really nicely. I really like the striping and how they made his body kind of, you know, big cat belly, and it's got a little fur underneath. And the cool thing is you can kind of look inside, if I can take this off without ruining it completely. It's got like guts. They do it like Brickheads does with like, these are your guts inside. So it's kind of cool. Like intestines and stuff. I think that's pretty slick. Full marks to the designers in this one. Where was I? That. Tell me you saw episode 2. I did. Yeah, I like when they do guts and they do inside stuff, like the Brickheads where they got like the little pink brick for the brain and some other stuff. I did see it. Scott, what did you think? I'm interested to hear what you thought. That was much better than the first episode. First episode was a little long, or it felt a little long, I should say. Yeah, with this music. I don't know what to even classify this music as. I love these pieces so much. I thought I had a ton of them, and I was sorting through and I found one, and I have no idea where I put the rest of them. Like I'm like, I had a ton of these. What happened to them all? I think like a bantha. I think like a bantha. I don't know what the hashtag means, but I approve because it's a bantha. Oh, yeah. Write it. Yeah, this episode was a lot better. I did like the behemoth or whatever that beast was in the first one, the Harryhausen stop motion looking Kraken-esque kind of beastie with the 6 arms and I liked that a lot. For no reason other than I'm just like, that looks cool. It also felt very un-Star Wars-ish. It's like somebody had a throwaway beast from like an old myth movie in the 60s and they're like, yeah, this would be great. Let's use this on the next episode. Okay. was nearly... Oh, yeah. Wait, died laughing. It was very nearly Baby Yoda punch level. So that, I'm assuming, is referencing the two speeder bikes guys, and they're sitting there, and the one guy's like, quiet. What were you... So what part was that good for you in this? Oh, when he says like a bantha. That's right. Like go, like bantha. Okay. I swear I saw the show. I have no idea. Pretty sure he broke character. Well, that was too. It was like Jason Sudeikis and somebody, wasn't it? Or who's the guy from How I Met Your Mother, the tall guy? Jason Schwartzman? One of those two guys is the one. We're in the biker scout suits. I think I'm missing a piece. I didn't put a piece on here somewhere. Oh yeah, there. Boop. Big boop. Clip. Bam, says the clip. Bam. All right. So the tiger's pretty much, I guess, not done. This will take till 10 o'clock. Holy crap. I should have known. Half hour a bag. So it's kind of cute because he's a powerful tiger, but his legs are a little like tucked in a little bit. So, oh, they do go out a little bit. Okay, yeah, just a very little bit. I gotta get his paws right. Okay. So that's him standing, and once again, cat butt. So weird, just so weird. Yeah, outtakes have got to be hilarious. I want to see the outtake. Oh, I'm never finding that piece. Hang on. Oh. These things are the bane of my existence. These little Technic balls, they always roll off. I need to get a lip put in right here. I want to see, and I don't think it's a blooper, but I want to see footage of Werner Herzog basically saying, if you turn this, they show him Grogu, they show him the puppet, and he says, if you turn this into a CG character, I'm quitting the show. Basically. If you turn this into it, what's this? I will quit the show. It's the most terrible Werner Herzog ever. But you know what I'm talking about. There's got to be footage of that, I'm sure, somewhere. Because I heard that happened. He was like, don't. What do you... Don't. No. This thing will bring so much joy to the world. How dare you? What did you think of the CG Jabbas? The CG huts? Did you like that? Did you not like that? 3 Russian bots tonight. New world record, people. New record. We've made it. Oh, speaking of making it, I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram. I'm pretty sure all of you do. I think so. I have the now distinct honor of being one of many people who've had a model, a mock of mine taken from Rebrickable and sold on an illegal Chinese website. The site's not illegal. The fact that they steal everybody's mocks and sell them is illegal. So, yay. I've made it. And it wasn't even like a good one. I mean, it was, they're all good, but I mean, it was kind of like what was this one? So it was this, it was the Radis, right? From The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi. Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. Okay. Last Jedi. So this is the Radis. This is General Leia's ship, right? Named after Admiral Radis. And it's above Agent Kloss, and it's got these little shuttles on the stands. That's a General Leia minifig, right? So, no big deal. But it's not like one of the best ones. It's okay because it kind of looks, it looks the part. It looks like the right ship. But I'm on a Facebook group called AFOLs or something against Venado, which is a known purveyor of stolen mocks from people. They just take them from Rebrickable and just go sell them on their site. And there's like zero recourse because it's in China, right? There's nothing you can do about it. So it's just lost revenue if you're selling it. This one I am selling for $1 on Rebrickable, so it is technically lost revenue, but I think one person has bought it, so I'm not like really out of it. And my problem is if they sell a ton of these in China, then I'm like, oh, guys, come on. So I was trying to contact them so I could at least put in the perfunctory, this is my model, you've stolen it, please take it down. The problem is the only way to contact anybody on the site is via something called WeChat, which is mostly a Chinese social media thing. And the only way to get the app is to sign up, and then the final step of the authentication process is you have to have somebody else who already has the app like scan a QR code on your phone, or you send them a code and they send it back to you so it finishes the registration. So it's kind of like registration by word of mouth, right? So, and I don't know anybody who runs this app, and I don't know anybody in China, so I'm just like, well, I guess I'm boned. So, bully for me. But yeah, now I'm part of a long and distinguished group of people who have had stuff stolen from me and put on an illegal Chinese website. So, good times. Done with work. Yay. Hi, Brad. Yeah, and I need to take that off my phone anyway. I'm just like, ugh, I don't want this. I don't want the headache. I mean, the app was in the Google Play store, so it's not like I got an APK and just jailbroke my phone to do this. But at the same time, I'm like, damn it, can't even complain right. Can't even complain to these people. And I feel like complaining on the Facebook group is like this the scene in Finding Nemo where all the pelicans are sitting there talking, and the one pelican is choking on something. They're like, oh, it looks like Nigel is at it again, and they're all like, man. I mean, that's just like I tell everybody, they're like, yeah, I mean, nothing you can do. Oh, thanks, Brad. It's all good. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. The only other time this happened, I actually complained because it was apparently a legit site, and I emailed them and I was like, hey, can you please take this down? And then I went on social media and basically ripped him a new butthole, ripped him a new cat butt, and was like, these people have stolen my thing, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out they were a legit, like, purveyor, aggregate of people who make mocks, right? They were just like, we are just a site where people can register and submit they're like Rebrickable but smaller, And so they emailed me right away, and they're like, hey, you totally just went on a tear and badmouthed us all over social media. And I'm like, yeah, because you stole my... And they're like, no, it was submitted by this person. We thought it was theirs. We'll take it down. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they're like, could you go in and delete all those comments? I'm like, maybe I'll just add a comment to it that's like, maybe they should have been a little more careful about who is submitting stuff to them, kind of thing, you know. I don't know. But I was hot, man. I was just like, no, I will have my dollar, you know. It didn't matter. In the end, nothing else matters. It's a nice combination, like those butter yellow 1x1 rounds with bars. Oh, and this is going to be great too because I'm building the eyes, and so you've got a little bit of pink for the guts and brain matter, and then like these yellow bits as like optic nerves. So I bet you the eyes are going to go on here somehow, but that's like, consider this like the optic nerve of the eyeball. I think it's funny when they do stuff like that. And everyone goes, tee hee. That is funny. Hee hee. So now I think what I should do is I should build Tashi Station. But I should make it not like a playset where it's like the inside. I should make like a whole big thing where it's like a fueling station. Dang it. Oh, I hate that. Oh, well, success, I guess. Had to push my computer tower back to find a piece that I dropped. And I found 2 other pieces that I had dropped, so everybody wins. Scott, I just realized I'm not subscribed to you. How did that happen? I just fixed that. Dang, Brad. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta cut Scott like that? Luke girl. I don't know what Luke girl means. I'm really bad with getting your stuff today, Scott. I apologize. You know what I need? I need another beer. Hold that thought. I need another beer. I'm have another beer. Well, I don't think Cami was Luke's girlfriend. I think Cami was Fixer's girlfriend. I don't think Luke had a girlfriend. Luke had friends Biggs, Tank, Wendy, which was a boy, and then he knew Fixer and Cami at Tashi Station. Or Anchorhead. Anchorhead was the bigger like port, and then Tashi Station was where they hung out. I stand corrected too. I think the yellow was to make yellow eyes, not brainstem, but I stand by it. Luke had some crush on some girl in the Last Jedi book. Some crush on some girl. The Last Jedi book? Like the book of the movie The Last Jedi? He talked about having a crush on somebody? Or was there a book called The Last Jedi or something? Was it one of those old Legends books where they talked about Mara Jade? Because he married Mara Jade. That was his wife. He had a wife. Well, do me a favor and do a Google search and tell the class what you find. He finally decided to kiss his sister. Okay, so let's be fair. At the time, they didn't know that. Lucas didn't even know that. I love that because everyone's like, oh, no, it's his sister, it's his brother, it's, and then, oh, and then they suddenly remember Empire Strikes Back. They're like, what? Ew. I like how they make his teeth for this like tan, like it's not bright white. I think that's a really interesting choice. Done. So this channel, the music is off of it's Pretzel, and it's the lo-fi channel. I dig it too. I'm a big fan of lo-fi stuff, and I don't mean to be hipster about it, but I remember listening to like lo-fi channels on YouTube and whatever when they first came out, like 2009, and when like people were actually like releasing stuff and being like, check out my lo-fi riff and blah blah blah, and now it's like everywhere. It's like the NPR breaks for, you know, while they're talking about something, and it's like, I know this is from that YouTube lo-fi channel with the girl studying. I'm missing, not missing, it's just hidden. There it is. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's a little more chill than the Chill station, honestly. Finished the saber-tooth tiger from the Dragonfire. I was kind of hoping too that I thought I would like cruise through this and we could do this one so I could have a lion and a tiger. This one's obviously a little smaller, so maybe I'll do the boar or whatever it is, or the ostrich maybe. It's not a boar. What is it? It's a whatever Pumbaa is. What? Oh, okay. So 3. Warthog, thank you. The Warthog. Turn this over, do that, do this. Cover up those brain stems, but I mean, this is so obviously brain, right? It's all pink and stuff. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna keep that one together. This one I might keep together because it's a little larger, but we'll see. The ostrich looks terrible. I'm not even gonna try that one. But they wanted, you know, they have to have something extra in there, and I get it. Plus, it's not like they can do a ostrich or a lion and then like a sea tortoise or a sea turtle. They have to kind of have a theme and have the same colors, and I get you. This kind of looks Chinese dragonish so far. Lego got really good at making Chinese dragons. Or they got prolific at the very least. I don't know if I'd say good, but they got prolific. Some people may say good. I say good night. Aw, the cute little nose. It's just so cute. Look at the little face. Look at the face. That's so cute. I was going to go to the Lego store tomorrow, but now I am get a 1 foot of snow tomorrow. Ugh. I want this tiger. It will stay together for me. I want this tiger. It will stay together for me. Won't you? Yes, you will. You're a good tiger. You're a good boy. That sucks that you're getting snow tomorrow, buddy. I wish you the best. As a Colorado boy, I know getting snow ain't no fun. But now living in Texas, I kind of miss getting snow. And I know that I don't want... Oh, shoot, I shouldn't have done that. Dogs are going to bark. You're going to think somebody's at the door. We don't want another winter storm here in Texas. Most Marvelous Mocks, yes, it does. Triple M. Because so far we've only had a few days of like it's been 40 degrees, high 30s, and already like the energy group here is like, we're not gonna be able to handle this. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. We've had like a week of cold, like slightly cold temperatures, and you can't handle it. Well, we are well and truly effed. Effed in the B. Your BF's about to get effed in the B. I want to watch that again. I always have every couple months I'm like, yep, watching that. Wait. Hey, Travis, how's it going, man? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, it definitely is a 4-letter word here in Texas. In fact, I said something the other day, and everyone, like, they were like, you gotta, like, throw some salt over your shoulder and spit and walk around 5 times or whatever. Don't you dare bring that up. And I'm like, y'all, it would have been so fine if it hadn't just, you know, whatever. I get it. So at the very least, this set is going to come with like a ton of these. So these are great and I like them, but I don't know if you can tell, they're asymmetrical, so I can't use them on any Starship thing. I mean, they're slightly off, right? So they're great for mountains and snow spaces and fur, but you can't spaceship them. True enough. What is my least favorite movie? Probably one I haven't seen yet, but of the ones I've seen, let's see. You know what? I'm gonna say this is gonna be a hot take for some people, but I can't even remember the name of it now. Donnie Darko. Absolutely hated that movie. And the only reason I hated it so much is because it was so built up by everybody as this mind-bending, awesome, it's just so trippy, you're gonna be blown away, it's like another reality. And I'm like, okay, cool, let's watch this. And I watched it, I'm like, the hell did I just... It just felt like somebody punked me. I was like, did we watch the same movie? This was pompous and boring and like, just no, thank you. Ever again. Sorry. Ben, remind me, I'm going to build a spaceship just for you with those. Okay, cool. Yeah, do it. It's going to be an ice spaceship. Make it all like an iceberg with like thrusters on it, and it's going to be populated by like frost people. You're going to resurrect all your Ice Planet 2002 or whatever translucent hot orange pieces and all those awesome little head with the hair hanging down and all that nonsense. And the guy with the beard. Man, that was a good theme. I love that theme. If you're late too, these are great pieces. These are printed 1x2 slopes. They're not stickers, they're printed. These, honestly, if you could line them up, and they did in here with some interesting slope and inverted slope mechanics, this would be great for if you ever wanted to do a Jodorowsky's Dune type of ship, where they are very stripy and fantastical. Or maybe like a Homeworld ship or something that's got a lot of stripes on it. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Did I do this backwards? No, this is right. Oh, I'm on this page. Okay. Phew. Had a senior moment there for a second. I'm like, no, that's right. It's my next build now. I need some new trans orange part. Mine are so scratched. Yeah, mine are a bit old. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've got all trans cockpit windshield pieces in one drawer, and I try not to move them around a whole lot, but I also don't want to like individually bag them. But some of them I've had since like '85, so they're just hosed. There's nothing I can do about it. There's stuff you can get that's like kind of an abrasive, and you can kind of clean them by basically stripping a layer off. You're not supposed to do it more than like a couple times, but it can be done. And I was thinking about doing that to them, but it's so intensive. But like, I've got, let me show you. These are the pride and joys. These guys, right? These giant quarter panels. But I don't know if you can see how scuffed. That's not gonna be able to really tell. And scratched they are. It won't focus really, but they're pretty scuffed and scratched. So I got two of these. I built a whole spaceship with this as the cockpit. So the cockpit was like this with both blue ones, and then I just built this giant, like, I think I've got it somewhere. I've got pictures of it somewhere. Let me see if I could find it. It was actually pretty rad. Let's see if I can find it. Neo-Futuron kind of RQ4, Iceberg, Growler, nope. Wow, really didn't keep a photo of this? All right, I'll let those images load a little bit. All right, so there's your head. Oh wait, no, I gotta do the jaw. Still working on the bottom jaw. So yeah, I've got like an official trans yellow, just regular canopy. And that thing is like, it's almost opaque. It's scratched so much. And I'm like, I can't get rid of this. It's a trans yellow piece, man. Got to do some Blacktron with it. And there's a guy in my lug who's like, he's got a bunch of them and they're perfect and they're in such good shape. I'm like, how did you do that? Because he's been doing Lego. I mean, he's my age, if not maybe a little younger. But I feel like he's been Legoing better than I have over the years. Yeah, I usually just open it long enough to put in a piece that I'm sorting, and then that's it. Oh, I gotta put the tongue on. Totally forgot about that. Like, that is gonna pop right off when I put that on there. Oh, that is delightful. Look how well that fits together. That's very nice how that fits together. And then snap, it's done. Head on tiger. There's your tiger, everybody. Uh-oh. Lost a whole rib cage or something. There you go. There's your tiger. Look at that. Did you see the new trans light green quarter tiles in the new Dots extra pack? I got 2 today in the mail. Oh man, I have to get one of them. I need to get those more of those dots, those lots of dots. Scott turned me onto that because I needed some orange of these guys, 1x1 round tiles. Oh, did I? Yeah. Like, you can put those on his eyes. Those are his eyes. They look angry. But I always need good colors of 1x1 anything. There's the occasions of needing to do like fancy accents on spaceships. So I always try to have extras of those, but so I need to do, and I'm kicking myself for not doing this, but I need to start getting packs of the new CMFs and try to get me a purple. I don't know what the odds are. I'm just going to buy them until I get one. But I also don't necessarily want to buy a whole box of the new CMFs because that's like, what, $250 just to get a box of them, right? You go to the store and you just say, I'll just take the whole box, $250. Because it's like 30 bags in there and they're $3 a pop, so that's not right. $4 a pop, 60 bags. I forget how many are in the thing. I just want the purple guy, and then I want to, buy I got arms and legs and a head. I just need a helmet, and I don't care about the space pack. Yay! I will buy it from you. I will Venmo you the money for it. I don't want to just like take it, but that's awesome, dude. Thank you. Because I was like really trying to justify spending a ton of money just to ensure that I got it. And knowing me, I would have got 5. So that's awesome, man. Thank you. It's like a wedding present. Okay. And then one of them. This is all just this is the scenery now. The tiger's done. So if y'all wanted to bail. Oh, it's like a little water thing. Yeah, for sure. Do that. I appreciate it. I'm going to be up late, probably. I'm going to play some video games. Did the hockey game end already? 20 minutes to go. I can watch the third period. They're up 4-1. Yes. Will Smith. Hi, Will Smith. Don't worry, Ben. He can send you one. I don't know who you are, Will Smith, but that is a funny freaking name. I love it. Welcome to Earth, says Will Smith. Oh, this is actually kind of lovely. I love these pieces, these egg pieces, like broken egg flower petal things. I got a couple with the eggs from the... Was it the Carrot House? I think had a couple of them. They're Mwah, their choice. Oh, this reminds me. These guys remind me. I need to get, I want to order another bonsai so I can do the second tree and have both trees. Because I want to have both trees up. There is going to be some extra pieces because this is a 3-in-1. One thing I want to get better at is building trees and plants. Hey, I'll tell you what. At Brick Rodeo this year, and I'm going to see if we can simulcast it or record it, and then I will send it to you. But a fellow tech slugger is going to be doing a workshop on trees. He's very good at making trees, so... If you're interested, I'll figure out how to get that to you. Oh, this is kind of sad. This isn't sticking on very well. Another one work a little better? Kind of. It's going to come right off. Yeah, I did. I designed somebody's house in Lego, in Studio, a friend of mine, and the hardest part, because it was just kind of a square house. It wasn't like an impossible design or anything. But the hardest part was figuring out the trees, because some of them had to be like these giant trees that went over the whole house, and then some of them had to be these little bushes in the front, and some of them had to be like spindly trees that just went to the, you know, so it's like a whole different bunch of ways to build them. And I was kind of like, I'm just like throwing browns and greens at it and going, that's fine. Yeah, it's in June, and if you can make it, great, but I will see if I can record it somehow and if post it somewhere. I should be able to, since I'm like one of the co-chairs of the event. I'll just make it work. Like, no. This guy wants to participate in this workshop. We're going to live stream this. We'll make up something about you being like immunodeficient and you can't actually fly or something. That'll work, right? And just when I think that we're done, we're not done. We gotta make a bird. Bird, damn it. Next year it's gonna be in Houston and I won't be there. Or I won't be a co-chair. I might actually go to it because I'm trying to get out of... It's not my city, so I'm not gonna go. But especially now, I'm like, it's not my city. I'm not gonna go. And I have a feeling these are all gonna be eyes. I am doing a workshop on Studio, like a basic, well, not really a workshop, a talk, how to do certain things in Studio, like instructions and, oh man. Which means I need to do a little more research because there's some things I'm still not good at, like the illumination parts of the bricks, and I need to try to do some more rendering on some things. But yeah. Alright, so there's your side feature, which is actually quite whimsical and charming. I really enjoy that. I'm gonna turn that a little bit. With the little bird and the flowers and the water feature and the trees, the bamboo. So there's that. And there's a lot of extra, but there's also, I have a feeling this should have been used for something. Now I don't know. But everything seems to be working, so cool. A lot of extra pieces, but there you go. So there's your tiger and your little side thing. Tiger was a lot of fun. So I'll get that in camera. And again, one more time, this is why we all bought it. Tiger butthole, little cat butt, right? Thank you everybody for being here. I'm going to take the next week off to do a wedding. I don't have any reason really not to be on Sunday, except I want to make sure that we get everything planned and ordered and set up. So I'm from now until next Saturday morning, I'm going to be like incommunicado with Lego stuff. So my Instagram might go quiet for a little bit and whatever. But if you are interested, we did this last year. I think a lot of you probably watched, but we're also going to live stream it for the people who are out of town and couldn't make it because of COVID or because they just can't fly or they're older kind of thing. So on Friday of next week at 5:30, I'm not going to make any reminders or anything, but Friday next week, 5:30, on, I think just here, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, maybe just YouTube. I think I'm just going to try to do YouTube because I think on Twitch and Facebook it'll be a little weird. But yeah, we'll have a 20-minute ceremony and we'll renew our vows. And what we're going to do is we're going to give our wedding a booster, which I think is funny. Hi, Doc. God, it doesn't matter what time I'm over, I'm done. You're there right at the end. Like, it's uncanny. I'm going to give you an award. You win something for always being here at the last minute. So yeah. So the next thing I have to build is going to be this. So there you go. That's going to go on our cake. I got this from a lug member, friend in the lug, and I have to give it back to him when we're done. I was like, it's going to be built and it might have some cake on it. And he's like, that's fine. So this will go on top of the cake. Maybe not the path, but at least most of that. And yeah, so have a good week, everybody. I'll be back probably next Thursday or maybe Monday or Tuesday, maybe as a fill-in after the wedding. So take care. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. And I will speak with you all soon. Thanks again for being here. Bye.